Hi there, welcome back. Now, what you can see me showing you very animatedly with my hands as usual is a lot of glitters and a lot of molds. Now, if you haven't seen the previous video to this one, please go back and watch that because I will describe to you what these are in that video. We will also link them in the description box down below. And yeah, you'll have seen the previous video where I used these lovely bangle molds and one of the beautiful little chunky bubble-edged trinket molds. In this particular video though, I'm actually going to use some different molds to the majority of what you see in front of you. But I still needed to show you this so it had some sort of semblance and it does have a relevance to the rest of the video. So please do go back, check that one out, and then come back and watch this one, and hopefully it'll make a bit more sense. There we go. We're actually going to use this mould that I'm showing you now, which is the larger of the two bubble-edged moulds, but not this one. This one now that I'm showing you, we've used in the previous video. So moving on. We are actually going to use the larger of the two bubble edge moulds and one of these three vase moulds. Now, it's been a long time since we've used these vase moulds, a long time. There's three in the set, but we're actually going to use the one of them. Now, look at these two. We've got the Twinkled Tints on the left and then the mermaid, a glitter selection from the Mermaid Treasures mix and kit that we recently got from Resin Jewels. So using some Tea Expert resin, it's a 1:1 mixing ratio, just mixed it up for about 3 minutes. I tend to mix it for, let it go completely clear. As you can see, it's bubble free, and all I've done is added it to a smaller mixing cup, and then we're going to add we're going to take this, which is the rest of this lovely mix, this lovely resin, and we're using this, I mean, gorgeous little like spade. It's a spade spoon sort of thing, if you know what I mean. And I like to use that for the larger like glitter mixes and so on that we've got to mix into resin. So this glitter mix that I'm using was from the Mermaid Treasures kit, as I said, which was by Resin Jewels and Resin Detra Supplies. Please do go on over, check them out on their socials. They've got a lot of lovely things that they supply and sell, and it's great watching them on their Instagram lives too. So look at that. It's got all kinds of bits and pieces in it, all very much mermaidy, ocean themed. Lovely blues, little pops of silver and gold. There's some little gold shells in there as well, and a couple of little starfishes, maybe some shells, some mylar paper, which is like a holographic film type of thing. There we go. Let's look at that. That is jam-packed full of loveliness. And then I've brought back that other, which is is clear at the moment, but I'm going to add to it some of this very pale blue acrylic paint, and I'm going to use it as a colorant. Now, as long as you don't put too much acrylic paint into clear resin, it will act like a colorant, a nice pigment colorant. There we go. So we've got this lovely bluey coloured resin now. I mean, obviously, if you want to use mica powders to colour it, if you want to use pigment pastes, do. If you want to use acrylic ink or alcohol inks, please do. Use what you feel happy doing. I'm just showing you what we used. So that acrylic paint as well was from the range, which is a UK retailer over here in the UK. So I've picked the vase I'm going to use, and here we go. Straight in with some of that lovely... Oh, can you see those three starfish there? Wow, I didn't see those, you know, at first when I was pouring them. There we go. Oh, and another one. My gosh, so there's, what is there, 4, I think? So I've just poured it into the mould and I'm letting it just go down to the sides. A little bit of a helping hand there with the stir stick. And then in with the majority of the blue, I think, the blue coloured resin. There we go. It's got a little bit of leftover glitter in there from a previous, from the previous video, in fact. There we go. So I prepared the projects for both this video and the previous to this video at the same time. I was a bit more organised that day. So there we go. That's gone in there. And then just topping it up with some more of this beautiful mermaid mix of glitter and lots of little bits of sparkle, shells, starfish, lots of lovely little bits of treasure. Now, as per usual, I've put a bit too much in. I'm going to take some of it out, because really what I wanted to do was what they called a drop swirl technique. Now, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I am quite rusty at doing this. As you can see, I'm getting a bit of resin come out over the top of the mould, but you know, I mean, these videos are how-to videos, and you know, it's really just us showing you what we will do, talking about whether or not it's something that seems to be straightforward to do, what perhaps you could look out for in future if you did this again, whether or not we're happy with the way it's been done, or what we might change in the future as well. But you know, this is just always only really as a basis for you to do and maybe adapt it or use different colours when you come to do it yourself. So here we go. I didn't have enough resin left to do this lovely the bigger and lovely bubble edge mould. But what I have done is poured in what we had left in this cup, in this mixing cup, and then made up some more. There we go. So just trying to get out as much as possible before I go in and mix up some more clear resin. They've got some much larger pieces of what I wasn't sure what they were at first. They're on this screen now. They look like they're a pale sort of bluey silvery green colour, and I was a little bit concerned that perhaps they weren't going to be right. And in fact, that large piece you can see there where I'm trying to coax it so it would lay flat, because I was a bit worried about it standing upright and then it not being an even cure across the bottom. But I do end up taking it out. You may not see me do it, but trust me, I did end up removing that piece. So just making up some more of the blue resin. So there we go. We've got some little bit of the clear resin, and we've got some more of that blue acrylic paint. And I'm just going to pour it in a moment. So just making up some more of the lovely mix, the lovely glitter mix into the clear resin. Sorry, this has been done off camera. I must remember to do things within camera shot. There we go. So yeah, as I said, this bit has been sped up. I don't stir things quite that quickly, but look at that. An overload, but a lovely overload of glitter sensation. So there we go, just pouring in the bluey coloured resin and a little bit of the glitter, and a little bit of the blue. And in fact, that will be almost the last of the blue, I think. Just making sure I get every last little bit out as much as I can. We are. And then, sorry, apologies if you can hear a little dog barking in the background. It's my neighbour's dog. So there we go. Oh, I'm just taking out that piece. That I think was that larger piece. Yeah. So just going to remove that because it's not sitting flat. There we are. And then put in the last little bit of the glittered filled resin. It's almost like looking at a lot of those lovely, lovely sweetie wrappers that you might have in the lovely tubs of sweets at Christmas time and holidays. Anyway, moving on. This has now set. This is 24 hours later. And it looks like it's had a good, even cure. I do love that colour blue. I love the way it goes. And this is the bottom of it. So it is nice, it's evenly cured, nice along the edge, no obvious indentations or air pockets or anything like that. And look, there we go. Now those were actually very thin pieces of shell that I could see. I don't know if you've spotted the little tiny gold shells. There we go. There's a little bit of a close-up there. Look at those little tiny gold shells. They are gorgeous. But I really like this. This is very much along the same lines as the, you know, the bigger, the fatter, the chunkier bubble edge mold that we did, dish that we did in the previous video to this. Now, this is cured really nicely. A couple of little bumps, but a lovely starfish there and a natural shell. Now, let's just remember. Now, can I remember the best way of demolding these vases? Yeah. So just trying to loosen the edges, and then for me, this is how I do it. It's just a case of pushing it down the sides of the mold. There we go, steadily, and then when you get it to the very bottom, you pull it out, but you do what I call the twist and pull. You'll see what I mean. So twist, twist, and then pull it a little bit, and it releases. Once it's released the air suction, it will come out nice and clean. So there we go. Oh, look at that. So we have got a lot of glitter around the base. It's a shame that some of the starfish and the shells didn't appear on the sides, but it hasn't detracted from how lovely this looks. I love the mix of the blue as well. And wow, look at that pop of glitter around the top and also in the bottom that you can see there. I love it. I think it looks stunning. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And of course, blue is ultimately my favourite colour. Do like this. Really, really lovely. I think I might try and do some of this. So a nice little starfish in the bottom there. I will try and do this using another colour variation, which is paler and more pastel, a bit like the bangles were from our previous our previous video to this one. So that's the two. You could have them as a set or not. Totally up to you. Look lovely in any home, bedroom, bathroom to give it a pop of colour. Or, you know, in your study, in your office, anywhere you like. A garden room perhaps with a sea theme. So this is the final shots here. So this is the two of them separately. You had the dish, the bubble-edged trinket dish, and then this beautiful vase with a little close-up there of the shell that you can see. There we are. I think they look absolutely stunning, stunning. And the two of them together. Now, to be honest, this is how I would display them in our home. It would look lovely on a white shelf or a bookshelf. It would look absolutely gorgeous. Or in the window ledge. And obviously you could put a few, how about some bamboo, the lucky bamboo. Thank you ever so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.